Hey, thank you for being here. I haven't made a video in about a month almost, and that's because I've been recovering from surgery, which I am okay, and also lately a little under the weather. But I thought now would be a really good time to document what we have growing in the outdoor container garden. It's the end of March here in Central Florida. Right now I'm in Zone 9A. We recently sold our house in Zone 9B and purchased land out here in 9A. So the goal is to take some of the trees that we have growing in these containers and we're going to plant them in ground at the land. But because it's springtime out here in Florida, we hardly get any rain. It's very dry. So I'm going to wait until the summer when we get most of our rain so that we can plant in ground so that, of course, naturally the plants get more water. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what we have growing outside. Some of the fruits have already formed, vegetables are ripening, so it's a really great time. Come with me. Starting out here, we've got a dragon fruit that is outgrowing this little pot that it's in, so we've got to do something pretty quickly about that. I've got some mini bell peppers here. And not because they're small, but because it's literally called mini bell pepper plant. You can see some peppers on it already, and I'm waiting for them to ripen to a nice red color. I've got a few more jalapeno starts. I'm not sure what to do with these yet. I may transplant them, but I'm running out of containers and space here. Have a couple different variety of tomatoes, but these two here are yellow pear tomatoes. I've got the Meyer lemon tree back here. This one will be going in ground at the land soon. And then over here we have, there's actually 5 here along this row. These are ají dulce peppers. They're a smaller, sweet, nice snacking pepper. Got some mulberry cuttings in here that's also going to be planted in ground at the land here soon. I have some ground cherry plants that already started fruiting, and I'm waiting for them to ripen. I can't wait to try them. Got another one here, it's a smaller one, and another one here that needs to be transplanted, but even considering how small this one is, it's already fruiting. So I don't know if it's because it's stressed or what, but I definitely need to transplant that. Need to up pot it into a bigger container. Got another one here, ground cherry. Have 2 fig trees. One is an LSU, one is a Celeste that will be going in ground at the land. And then I have these 2 banana pups that I removed from the mother plant before we sold our last house. Now this one I thought had completely died. It was like this, and I've just never came around to removing it from the pot, and I'm glad I didn't, because then this sprouted. So if you do have a pup that you've recently transplanted and you think it may have died, just leave it in there for another couple of weeks, because that can happen. And I'm so glad that I left it. I've got some cayenne peppers here. One of them is already starting to turn a nice red. Over here I have ashwagandha seedlings that will be transplanted into individual containers. I'm just waiting for the right time and for some more space. Back here I have more tomatoes. I've got a couple other varieties. One is the red cherry tomato, one is a sun gold tomato, and then I also have dark galaxy tomatoes over here. Back here we have some jalapeno plants. I've got one there and one there. Those are slower growing. I've got the rosemary here. Now on this side I'm growing garlic and shallots, and then over here we do have some regular green onions that I've had for about a year and a half now, and they're still producing for me. Now I have blueberries in here, which through the net can't really see too well, but I'm gonna try this. They're already ripening. These are really sweet, and this specific one, because I have two bushes here, the other one is fruiting as well, but this one here I have to figure out. I'll put the name up on the screen of which one this one is. I don't remember which one. Both of them are southern high bush blueberries. One of them is called Jewel and the other is called Snow Chaser. And now that I think about it, this is Snow Chaser, and they form very big sized berries. If I can get it to zoom in here. Very large, much larger than your standard blueberry that you would get at the store. Now next to it we have raspberries. This is a Nantahala raspberry cane, and this cane up here, this was the more mature cane. This one already fruited, and then it basically died back when we had 3 nights of frost. However, it spread down here, so we've got a lot of canes coming up. These raspberries have a much sweeter, and they're more plump than your standard raspberry that you'd get at the store. I highly recommend this variety. Over here I had about, I believe it was 5 pineapple plants, but the other 3 died back completely and I didn't see any new growth. So I removed them and I made some space for some of my tomato and jalapeno seedlings that you just saw. But these 2 are still going strong. Now in this container you can see that this is all new growth right here. So I'm keeping this, and I will be transplanting this pineapple in the ground at the land. And then this one here is still alive, but I haven't seen new growth yet forming, so I'll just leave it alone and see what happens. I've got some lemon balm here, some calendula that seems to prefer cooler temperatures. It's already starting to kind of yellow and die back. It's starting to get pretty hot out here. We are in March already, but it still is flowering. Every time I see a nice flower that has formed, I remove it so that I can dry the leaves and use it for teas. Over here we've got thyme, mint, dandelion. We've got some red lettuce over here in both of these containers. Got some sage going on right here, and then my sweet potatoes. These vines died back, or the plant itself, the vine, it died back during the frost, but I knew that it would grow back because the tubers were still underground. So yes, it definitely grew back and it seems to be doing really good now. And then my beloved Barbados cherry tree, which has formed new life, new leaves after seeming to have died from removing from the ground in my previous house. And then of course we had the frost, so it was pretty stressed. But I already see it flowering here. And this one's also going to be planted in ground. So I'm gonna take a day out to do all of these transplants, pick a nice spot on the land to place them in ground.